CC Masters Qualifier number 1. This is the first quarter-final of this tournament. A $4,000 qualifier. The winner takes home $2,200. And yeah, the games look amazing. As you can see here, we start with Infi versus Lin, getting Lawlight, Colorful, Happy versus Focus, Jera Cup Hype, 1-0 versus WFZ to close the first half of this day. The game has started, so without further ado, here are your warriors. Rogue Warrior versus Newbie. The modern day classic, Remo.
Such a rivalry. So rich.
Indeed. But the rivalry between Infi and Lin is indeed rich. It is the rematch of the CC Masters Grand Final. Lin was victorious there, but it was such a glory to watch these two players in this matchup. Gonna be a lot of surprises, I guess, and a lot of deviation. Here is Amazonia, and to start things off, yes, we have a new upgrade on the overlay. You see the map names now in the bottom left. A lot of people were asking for it. You got it, as well as new sub badges. So, Amazonia, Infi, Lin, best of 3. Here we go.
All right, so is it Farseer exclusive time once again? We're going to have to judge that over the course of this series. But yeah, the Farseer seems to be, from the top orcs, almost exclusively played. There was a time, maybe a month or so ago, maybe longer, where Lin was still deviating between the heroes, sometimes Farseer, sometimes Blade Master. You always keep on hearkening back to the Shadowhunter. I don't think I've ever seen it from him on the highest level. Perhaps I was missing that day. But yeah, it's the Farseer here again, who has been looking pretty damn good recently. And especially from Lin, it was all about the tier 2 expansion. This is, of course, looking further down the line of this match, but this seems to be the overarching strategy, the win condition for Orc oftentimes nowadays. But we're starting off slowly. We're starting off with leveling, of course. As always, the early game is about gaining levels, and for this map is actually pretty damn good for humans. When you don't get level 2 in time, it's a hassle. When you don't get level 3 in time, it makes the mid-game difficult. But if you do get that level 3, it changes everything. So it's going to be up to Infi to try to get as many camps, as much experience as he can, and up to Lin, on the other hand, to prevent this as much as he can.
I think his lightning shield creep was absolutely flawless. He constantly attacked 3 or 2 units at the same time. This was, I guess, max damage and the fastest lightning shield creep you can do with Orc. He's moving into the human base. The Woofy is already there. Infi is greedy. No tower up yet. Not even a scout tower. He needs 1 kill for level 2, then it's Chain Lightning. 2 of the units are already hurt. What can the Woofies do? And what can this little lightning ball, the Farseer, do by himself? Tower is coming up now. Infi is attacking super fast. Lin taking it a little slowly. No aggressive tech. Here we go. Level 2 unlocked. Chain Lightning. He goes Barracks, Shop, then tech. For Orcs, that's rather slow.
Yeah, what we saw here by Lin was also he used the Peon for the lightning shield creep. We have seen this without a Peon before, and I mean, there must be a reason for it, since it's Lin who's doing it. So I saw we have some high-level orcs in chat, Spiral, for example. Spiral, why is he doing the lightning shield creep with the Peon? We do not know. Enlighten us, please. And yeah, and that did contribute to the somewhat slower tech here for the orc. That's normally a nice benefit on tier 2. You are earlier on tier 2, quite a bit earlier than the human most of the time, and that gives you a faster TC, making it oftentimes for you easy to creep up that TC before the MK comes in, before you have to start to worry about Stormbolt. But that's especially dangerous when the AM is level 3. He's still not there, but this could still very well be pretty easily achievable with the green or the yellow camps in the middle, especially with this number of footmen, which is pretty high. At 6, creeping is fairly easy to do. Oh, the Chain Lightning. This could be a massive steal! He gets it! Oh. This is actually such a big deal that Lin steals this one.
And he gets a footman as well, maybe even 2. The Chain Lightning pays off with the speed scroll. Oh my, Lin is dominating on AZ so far. Double kill on the footies. He got half a level with 1 spell and a couple of lightning orbs. Archmage, level 3 prevented.
Yeah.
This is looking real bad for Infi now.
That Chain Lightning lasted an experience, what's it called? Trade-off? No, when you give it to the other side. I'm missing the word right now. But basically, Lin claiming that for himself, that is a ginormous deal. One more
Swing.
footy, and he gets level 3. However, mana is rather low on the Farseer, so he can't spam that spell like crazy. But still, having it is actually outstanding. Like, preventing level 3 AM and getting it on the Farseer yourself, that is, especially on this map, so ridiculously hard. But, you know, it's Lin, so Orc players take notes.
Indeed. Mountain King, second double Arcane Sanctum. He got a Lumber Mill pretty early. I thought for a second, okay, is this Infi tower rushing again? But with this Archmage, no chance for that at all. I guess it was just because he was low on lumber due to the Woofy harass earlier in the game. TC comes in. Once again, Lin not immediately going for Stomp or Aura. He's waiting a little bit. Can I use the Stomp? Can I pressure the Archmage into a Town Portal? It's okay, there's no chance at the moment. So let's go for Aura. I will get my level 2 in no time anyway. And Infi, man, this is really not his day. End Snare on the Footman. Another kill. He denies it though. But the footy is gone and there's no chance for him to go for the burrows at all.
Stormbolt on the creep doesn't even hit it though. If he went for the Farseer, perhaps he could have been able to force a TP right there, but no. Once again, it's a level 1 early MK harass, which has been pretty popular in China, even like a month or so ago, which we were quite surprised when we saw it first. And here comes the first Windrider. 3 grunts and still getting the Windrider and the Shaman out early. This is something to note in the early game. The Farseer didn't buy a single item from the lounge. He didn't need clarities, he didn't need heal salves, because his movement, his trading was so outstanding. He was using his wolves to tank damage almost exclusively. That means only the TC, when he comes out, he's bringing the salves. You're saving a lot of gold from the early game. That is what allows you to go for the bestiary and lodge that early.
He got 1 speed scroll, but that's about it. That's pretty insane indeed. So can he steal the Sasquatch? Not going for it. Lightning Shield on the Mountain King, who struggles with level 2 even. Infi, almost no progress. Finally level 3. But here comes the Orc with level 2. We do have Stomp missing the Archmage in the first attempt. But the rest of the army is here on the Silver Platter. And there's good focus fire on the Wyvern, though. Takes him out. Heal Scroll triggered early. The Wolves are doing great damage as there's no Dispel yet. Priests have no upgrade. We do have another Stomp. Could result in a triple kill. He's getting the workers anyway. Once again, slow for the Wyvern. But there's also Purge. And Infi is losing worker after worker.
Yeah, interesting decision here by Len. He decided to go for a bit of a creep jack before level 3 TC. Oftentimes, Orcs will try to wait for that level 3 for the big level up, but that of course also gives time for the MK to creep. A lot of defensive purges on the slow on the Windriders, trying to keep them alive. Of course, they are the most valuable units here in this army at the moment. Very expensive and also strong if you can keep them alive. But everything is a little bit hurt now. Lin needs to fall back, needs to heal up a little. The longer the fight goes, normally the better it is for the humans. So Lin got what he came to do, got a few kills, kept the MK from creeping, and now falls back for a bit more creeping, perhaps on his own TC.
We do have the Lightning Shield upgrade almost ready for Lin. Still no Dispel upgrade, right? Ooh, this could be very vicious. Still no level up on the Mountain King. And a Griffin Aviary now. I wonder how fast Lin will counter this. They are the best counter to the Wyvern, but you need them in numbers, and they're easily countered by Bat Riders. It's seriously not gonna be easy for Infi to pull that off. Thank you, Wong, for the 6-month resub. Will 120 use the Dreadlord first again? Let's see. At least you're getting your Undead Mirror.
Lin is expanding now. He is satisfied with the position in this game so far. He has gotten decently far ahead. He got a bit of a lead from the early game. He got a bit further ahead, and he hasn't lost any unit yet, has he?
Nope. Maybe wolves, but that's it.
Yeah, this shows you how many resources he saved. Not spending barely any money in the early game on items, saving all of his units, only using utility from speed scrolls and such. This is once again Lin looking impeccable. His strong shape lining up perfectly with WGL, it seems. Yeah. Going into upkeep now, fortifying his expansion, and getting ready for the soon-to-be human push, barreling down towards the expansion of the Orc. But to go for that push, if you're Infi, you want level 3 MK desperately. But Is he gonna get it from this camp? It's gonna be pretty close. He needs it very badly. Ideally, you also want level 4 AM. But with how he was halted in the early game, this is just not feasible. AM level 4 is still far away.
Okay, level 3, Mountain King finally. But here comes Lin, the first shackles above the trees. Nice, there's no bad rider here, but ends there. Cancels the first one. There comes another shackle. So the Wyvern pretty well disabled here. We have Stomp, we have Clap, we have all the spells used so far. The Lightning Shield into the casters, really well done, but the Wyvern is the Town Portal in time. Not for the first one. Focus Fire, the second one is saved. But Infi being creep-jacked, salvaging it really well. But more time for Lin's expansion.
Outstanding position from the Dragonhawks. He was anticipating this creepjack, had the Dragonhawks above the trees. And one of the shackles got cancelled, but now it's 4 Dragonhawks. You can't cancel all these shackles anymore.
No, bad riders. Does he realize? Does he... Or is he going away from Wyvern completely?
I think the best play is just go away from Wyvern.
I think so too. And then later, you can go for them again if you killed the Dragonhawks.
Yeah, exactly.
But they don't do any damage. Except to air, so...
Yeah, exactly. So here we go again. TC hasn't found the best stomps yet. This one was pretty good! For once, Infi isn't microing perfectly against it. We don't have a Chain Lightning follow-up, despite all the mana on the Shaman. He's saving it all for Purges here aggressively. Chain Lightning rattling through. Here comes the Lightning Shield now. Yield Scroll is committed. That was the only one. The Dispel was pretty quick against that Lightning Shield. But Lin's forces also seem to be dwindling rather quickly. The Berserker dies. That's a big kill. And suddenly this AM is level 4, who was so far away from that level up for such a long time. But over time, Infi seems to be having a pretty good fight. Militia even coming in now from the main. And Lin finds himself in trouble.
The Raiders are about to fall. Archmage, he wants this Focus Fire now, but he taps out. In the middle, not in the middle of the fight, but after this one fight, with the expansion up, I think.
Yeah, the expansion was ready, but he didn't have a speed scroll anymore.
Okay, yeah, you would have lost a lot then.
Everything was slowed.
Man, the last clap. Did you see how much damage that did to the grunts and the raiders on the ground? Wow. Like, Infi struggling the entire game. No levels, no expo. Lin got his expo up. Levels weren't really too good. And then one fight in the north. Dragonhawk superiority, lack of damage on Lin. And the second fight just killed way too much.
Yeah, this is something we also talked about a lot in the CC Master Cup preseason. Going for 2 Wind Riders already is like a pretty big commitment. If you go 1 Wind Rider only, the damage it gives you against casters is already pretty good. And if you force a Dragonhawk response only to 1 Wind Rider, it's almost not worth the investment oftentimes. But if you go more into Wind Riders, it can start backfiring hard on you. And it's, you know, it's a hard call to make. If I go 2 Wind Riders, it can be very effective. Maybe his transition is not quick enough, and they can be my carries kind of in the air. But if he has the answer, then it's going to punish me too hard. But then again, if I only go 1 Wind Rider, is that really good enough? Like, it seems at the moment against the best humans in the world, you have to have the perfect army comp. Yeah. And one thing we saw completely missing here in that game was, compared to the preseason, no Kodos, no Headhunters. Instead, we saw Raiders and a little bit more Wind Riders. I'm not sure that that's right. Like, Raiders, outside of Ensnare, they're useless. They do, like, nothing in a fight. So, I'm not sure if Lin went for the best army composition there. It is a painful loss because he outplayed Infi like crazy in the early game. But the fact still remains, if you don't have walkers, fighting against sorceresses is incredibly hard.
All right, map number 2. Time for Lin to step it up even further. It's Northern Isles, his choice. Understandable, very hard to acquire level 3 here for Infi, but he got one of the best last hits in the game. And this is what a lot of the early game on Northern Isles comes down to. Last hits at the Murloc in the middle of the map. Hey Todd, nice to see you again. Travel safe, mate. And come on. Load. Here we go. Map number 2.
So this is once again a very popular Farseer map. Thinking of the vetoes, by the way, normally the maps we have remaining are Northern Isles, that one's basically always in. And then also Concealed is normally a map which survives the vetoing process. And if it is, then it's kind of surprising that Lin doesn't go for that one, isn't it? But maybe there's something unusual with the vetoes. We unfortunately don't have the information what exactly they were, but hopefully we will learn about it, because of course we want this game to go full distance. We want this to be a full best of 3, to have these two face off as many times as possible.
And we
Something
want to
that I also
thank... Oh, sorry. I didn't want to steal your thunder there.
Underwood Frank.
Yes, exactly. 29
29 months. Thank you, Frank. Something also from Lin, like that's something I always harp on with other orcs, but Lin normally always seems to get right. Speed scrolls. Wasn't he a little bit low on speed scrolls? He used the one very early to get the 2 footy kills, but that's definitely worth it to get you close to level 3. But I can't even remember what the other ones used were. And I'm sure there must have been 1 or 2. Yeah. But this is something I've been... Did we talk about this yesterday? Or did I talk about this once you were gone? Shouldn't Orc, like, always get backpack and always spam those speed scrolls?
Yeah,
because
so cheap.
Sometimes your heroes aren't in the base, and it's just too much of an opportunity cost to go back to the base, to get the items, to walk back to creeping. It slows you down a lot. But why not backpack? I feel like nobody's doing this.
Yeah, I think I have not seen this as well. Undeads do it sometimes. That's the only race that uses the backpack, really, right?
Yeah. And especially with Orc, like, it's so important to keep your momentum up, to keep your leveling up, to be in the right spot at the right time, especially with a Farseer when you're wanting to pressure. So you can't always go for the speed scrolls. I know I'm repeating myself here, but I think it's an important point. Like, get those speed scrolls. The only downside of speed scrolls is they have a big cooldown in the shop. They are super cheap, they are super effective, but they do have a big cooldown. But if you constantly have units streaming in from the main, you should be able to resupply with them pretty easily.
Yeah, I guess we won't see this here. Then the orcs usually not the fastest to pick up on your ideas. But we will tell them in China in 2 weeks. So, Woofy attack again. Claws for Infi, very nice. No item on the Farseer yet, so that makes it a lot easier to deal with these wolves. And he can skip the tower again. Nice last hit by Infi. This is what I said. 0 experience on the Farseer. Infi got so good with the last hits. Same for TH.
Yeah. And especially on the level 1 stage, this is so important, because every little kill actually gets you a decent bit closer to the level up.
So you get a lumber mill again, despite this not being the best harass of all times. But the grunt and the wolves at the same time starting to creep the murlocs of Infi's side of the map, steals a little bit. But how good are his last hit skills really? Didn't get this one. Was a little too late to the party.
And again, look at Lin. He's not trading any hits really on the Farseer or Grunt. Only the wolves are taking damage. They're the only ones. This means he doesn't have to go for heal selves for a very long time. Saves him 100 gold. Every heal self he doesn't have to get.
And this time the tech is further ahead of Infi, right? Maybe he skipped on the shop to go for the tech. I'm not too sure. Didn't see Lin's main base for a while.
Yeah,
so
he also didn't go for the weird peon lightning shield creep, so that saved him some lumber.
Yeah.
AM still level 1 only. Completely out of mana. If you can, you ideally want to stack up a little bit on mana. But too much pressure here on Lin. Nice denies from both sides. Farseer not being given the free experience from the Water Elemental. The Woofy is also saved very well. Now these two are playing this as well as we expected them to.
And Infi starting to put some pressure on the Farseer. Lin doesn't like that. Retreats, and that's the full Murloc camp for the Chinese. Got level 2, got Aura. Wolves, ooh, almost
so
getting the kill. Yep. And a shop coming up now for Clarities, I guess. Thank you, 12 Inches of Thunder for the 4-month resub. Looking sharp. Voice, good to see you back from BlizzCon. Are all 4 games being casted today? 4 games and more, my friend. We have W3IL as well. So yes, all 4 quarterfinals here at Back to Warcraft. Lynn progressing into level 2. And of course, it's a TC again. And once more, he got Beastery, Lodge, and Warmel at the same time. The Warmel is new, excuse me.
Yeah. So you skipped on the 3rd grunt this time around. Interesting. This map, of course, is not as valuable to creep with the Farseer because there's fewer medium armor creeps. When there's medium armor creeps on the map, because of the wolves, it's always very effective to creep with the Farseer. That is the case on AZ, not so much here. So Farseer wants to be more aggressive, rather keep the AM away from leveling up himself. And yeah, he's going for the early Warmill, 2 grunts only. Probably wants to go for the natural creep soon, and then with the power of the Shaman early on tier 2, defend it. And ideally, keep the AM from level 3. AM is getting decent progress towards that, but still needs like 1 or 2 more camps.
One more hit for the Footman, but Infi almost timing it perfectly. This block, like, he wanted to save the Footman, then blocked the Farseer with 2 of his units. That was so strong in the middle of the fight. Well done by Infi. In the end, slipping a little, so the experience goes to the Farseer and TC. Still no Chain Lightning. Early Kodo this time for increased damage, as he said. Mountain King out as well. On Infi, we get Double Sanctum into Griffin Aviary again. Quite a big investment once more. And with the Warmel, I don't think Lynn is going too heavy on Wyvern this time.
Yeah, he goes for the first one, which is always a really nice addition early on tier 2. And yeah, I hope he stays on 1. And yeah, he is going for more of that transition that I was talking about earlier. More Kodos and perhaps Headhunters to be coming in soon as well. Cool decision, by the way, here by Infi in this game. Early with the MK, he doesn't go for aggression. Instead, he creeps the Merchant. That can be dangerous if you get creepjacked there. It's super scary, but he knows Lynn wants to expand early. He's probably creeping the gold mine or very close to it. So I'm probably safely going to be able to creep that. He gets that camp, gets a level 3 AM, gets a big item, and good progress on the MK as well.
Yeah. And creeping, of course, is speed up now with the Wyvern, with the Kodo Beast. But don't you need the Chain Lightning damage? Something? Is it the right thing to abandon your Farseer that much? I mean, the TC is more important. We all agree on that. But level 2 would be nice. Level 2 for the Mountain King now. Hello, Clap, most likely. Oh, Ice Troll Warlord for the TC now. Almost. Oh, Anger for Incarnation got his ultimate early at least once. And speed scroll out by Lynn. He doesn't want to fight yet with the investment into the Great Hall, obviously.
That was his only speed scroll. That's also a big deal. He's gonna get the heal scroll here as well at the shop. Only 1 shop, of course. Shop control, very important. Early dust. I like that on the TC. Too often we see orcs forgetting about Invis.
Yeah.
And counter expansion. This is something that Infi never played in the preseason of CC Master. Which I always felt like, why are you putting yourself all in? You could just counter expand instead. And he's trying to do that now.
But he can't power build because he's low on lumber. Like, he stopped for a while. Now he can start it again, but it's kind of expensive. Wolves see this. So, what is Lynn doing? Try to push this or find more time on the map to creep up? Okay, he's in fighting spirit. Here comes the Shackle. Here comes the Purge on the Water Elemental. 3 Dragonhawks. Definitely too heavy on them, I feel. But so far they're doing a nice job taking out the Headhunter, taking out the Wind Rider. Next Kodo coming for the second Devour. TC is getting in line for the next Stomp. He's full mana, waiting for the level 3 to have the level 2 Stomp ready.
Not using it yet. Saving all of his mana. Is he saving it for the hero kill, perhaps? The MK is in a bit of trouble over there.
Shaman are falling. That's what the Wind Riders are good for as well. Almost no anti-air. Man, he takes out way too many casters in the back.
Stomp now ready. Where are these stomps?
Yeah,
Lin?
is the hotkey broken or something? I don't know what's going on. Stormbolt on this Headhunter. Once again, no anti-air. TP out now, aware of the storm. Is he trying to go for the Mountain King now? That would be way too late, but no. Exit out without too many losses. But the Wolves, they took
nice.
out a lot of peasants. The Town Hall is ready, but can he click it down without Raiders?
Farseer in a bit of a dangerous position. Stormbolt, slow. Could force him into a TP here, perhaps. Yuri doesn't have the firepower to take out this Town Hall, so Lin's gonna have to retreat. But this was a good trade for him, it seemed like. And we saw what you were talking about earlier. Yeah, Dragonhawks are really good against Wind Riders, but against everything else, they're pretty crap.
Well, casters, I guess.
Against the Shaman, they do a decent job as well, that's true. But against Heroes, Grunts, Raiders, they don't do much.
Farseer level 3 now.
Yeah, and this must be Wolves. Yeah. We don't have any breakers coming in anytime soon.
More damage on this Hawk, being saved above the trees. New Shaman coming in. Yeah, just waiting for the next stomp. Hello and snare. And there's another stomp coming in soon.
No TP!
No TP. He used it before. No item to save him. Archmage down. GG. Lin being so aggressive during his expansion. And it pays off.
Yeah. And this was, in my opinion, the perfect army comp from Lin.
Yeah.
Where he was too heavy on Raiders and Wind Riders earlier. Now he goes only one Wind Rider, makes Infi actually go for a bad unit comp on the other side. Way too heavy on the Dragonhawks. And punishes that pretty hard. But it's like a difficult dance on both sides, right? How many Wind Riders do I go? They can be very good, but if I overmake them, I can get countered too hard. And if you're the human, how many Dragonhawks do I make? If I only make one, and then that gets ensnared and taken out, then suddenly it's a worthless investment. But if I make too many, and he doesn't have enough Wind Riders for them to give value, then it's also a bad investment. So it's like, you have to be really, really careful here if you play this matchup on the highest level as to which units you invest into.
Yeah. This is the matchup where you have to scout the most in the mid game for the production of your opponent. It's rare that in matchups this is so important, but here it's constantly reacting to your opponent. How heavy is he on Wyvern? How heavy do I have to go for Dragonhawks? When can I go for Raiders, or will they just be clapped? How many casters do I need for the Dispel? How effective are my Wolves? Should I go Chain Lightning 2? Should I go Wolves 2? Will he steal everything with his breakers? This is a very, very, like, the most dynamic matchup we have for sure.
Yeah, and the first time we see it tried with a counter expansion from the human side. This one got kind of destroyed. Was it just because of the Dragonhawks? Or was it for some other reason? Should you, like, what was the supply he expanded at? It was like 42, right?
I didn't see it. I didn't check it.
Like, the jump you make in power from 42 to 50 is actually really big for human, because you get more sorceresses for more slow, which is especially powerful when there's no walkers in the game. So maybe Infi's expo timing was a little bit too soon. He does have the power build after all. It's fine if he expands quite a bit later. Maybe the better idea is creep more for higher MK level 3, and then expand behind that. I feel like this is still very unexplored, what the best counter expo timing is for human.
All right, we decide this series on Last Refuge. No CH. 1-1 is the score. As it is best of 3, we of course have a full distance match here. Who's the first in the final 4 in the CC Masters qualifier number 1? Infi, bottom left. Lin, upper right.
This was one of the maps, perhaps the number 1 map, where we still saw differing first heroes for Orc over the last couple of months. Meaning, of course, Blade Masters were still somewhat popular here. Lin being among them. There's this really, really nifty new playstyle of Mirror Image first, which is very popular against Night Elf. The idea is you creep and harass with the illusion at the same time, because the illusion pulls out the rock golem, disrupts the creeping at the green camp, everything is slowed down. It's an outstanding opening build against Night Elf.
Yeah.
Is that doable against human?
with
I
the shadow,
doubt it.
I don't know, man. We'll see. It's a Farseer anyway.
Okay.
So 3 games, 3 Farseers. Lin, like, he's the orc with the most hero deviation, I think. Here, going Farseer all the way. Maybe time with experimenting with Blade Master and Shadowhunter is over for now, especially when it's against Infi.
Yeah, I just also feel like Farseer is the best hero at the moment in this matchup. He can put on the most pressure. He isn't that reliant. Like, if you find yourself in the mid game with a level 2 Farseer, that's oftentimes good enough. What the hell are you supposed to do with a level 2 Blade Master once sorcerers come out with slow? It's
Blade
just,
Bastard?
What did I say?
Blade Bastard?
I
Sounded
wanted to
like
say-
it. Stupid Blade Bastard.
I wanted to say Blade Master. But yeah, that hero is just seemingly too reliant on levels, too reliant on items. That's a great thing about Farseer. Yeah, if he gets high levels, if he gets mana items, if he gets claws, that's pretty good. But even without all that, he's still pretty good. And you can play him from behind, from ahead. Super versatile. And yeah, such a joy that we have him as the main hero nowadays in this matchup, in my opinion. Whereas we have Blade Master and Shadowhunter combo still dominating the matchup against Night Elf and Undead for the most part, especially on Netties. But yeah, the Farseer here against humans seems to be deeply entrenched.
Very late harass by Lin so far. He's moving over now, kind of. Infi pulling out the rock golem, but not like immediately. Went for some creeping first, then getting the healing and the dispel. Lin skipping the shop for a fast attack. Going for the second burrow a little earlier and very creep heavy early for the orc.
Interesting how he completely switches it up towards compared to NI. The fact that he started off with creeping on AZ is very understandable. The lightning shield creep is just so effective, it is hard to refrain from. But NI, he went super aggro right away this time. Level 2 creep first and then harass. Oh, we had an amazing chain lightning steal before. He was like half a second away. Oh, this would have been a big one.
He can get the footman and maybe even the priest. Full mana here. Can he deny trappers? Grunts are coming in, but that's the only one so far. Wolves resummoned. Duration on the water mantle is on the one. It's rather good. Taking care of this wolf immediately. Denying himself to the creeps. But yeah, compared to Amazonia, this creepjack didn't do much.
A player's forces are under attack.
I guess that's true, but it's like also, it's about luck sometimes. Like on AZ, he perfectly arrived at the same time, and that wasn't because he timed it, but because he just walked there. Here, he's half a second late. He could very well have gotten this if he just was a little bit faster or the opponent was a little bit slower. Sometimes luck is involved. But yeah, this is a big deal. AM suddenly is very close to level 3. The swing, that was the word that was missing earlier. The swing of the Ogre Magi doesn't happen here. And the AM is pretty confidently trading. And this is also what the Shadow Priest gives you. You can afford to take a couple of hits because you have the heal from the Shadow Priest in the back. The AM doesn't have to be that afraid. This Shadow Priest pull has been becoming more and more popular for good reason on LR. It is just such a great unit for utility in the early game.
And they are fighting over 2 trappers for like 2 minutes now.
Yeah.
That's
All about.
Yeah, that shows you how important every single bit of experience is in this matchup currently.
Player's forces are under
Absolutely.
And Infi gets it.
And should be able to get this one as well. Farseer this time is so low that he has to go for heal self soon here himself. It's the same build again. 2 grunts into early bestiary, war mill, and spirit lodge.
Worked well on Northern Isles, but there we had no Mountain King with Clap. We will see it. Yes, it's very, very likely to see it here. How fast will Infi go for the Aviary again? Go 1 Sanctum, Mountain King. Not too much yet. Scouting with an illusion, sees the TC. And we're gearing up for tier 2. Double Sanctum again. And saving the Shadow Priest for now. With Militia support, well done.
If you're looking to creep pretty aggressively here, well, not even looking for creeping, actually just looking for straight up harass. The natural gold mine is always the favorite camp for the TC to creep solo. So this is where Infi was looking, but didn't find anything there. absolute priority on slowing down the TC's creeping right here.
Yeah, the presence already delays the progress of Lin. Oh, attacking the creeps at the mercenary camp.
Wow, is he actually gonna creep this? Oh, that looks dangerous. There's always a TP available. Another benefit of going Farseer first, you don't sell the TP as you do on the Blade Master, so you can go for these dangerous camps.
Archmage is coming.
Oh my god,
Aiming for that right click. So hard to do though.
Oh, the stun!
Got experience and the flute. Very good if he goes Wyvern. Got a Berserker here as well. And especially if he goes Headhunter later too.
Oh yeah, the Berserker. That's actually a really big deal.
Yeah. Against the human casters, that's real big. Can be sniped, of course, with Storm Bolts.
Not a single Wind Rider yet, by the way. And Infi has the perfect read. He doesn't even go for the Sanctum, the Aviary, just yet.
Yeah, really late. If he goes for it, it's really late. Saves a lot of resources with that. And it's in general a little faster than the past two games, which makes it, of course, harder for Lin. Invo Potion on the Mountain King. So, is it Clap this time, or will he go Bash again?
His MK inventory, by the way.
Cannot confirm it. Yeah, he's so tanky. 9 armor. Oh, yeah.
Impeccable scouting, creeping, early game trading. Infi is playing a super strong game right here.
Gets the second consumable in the middle. Like, this is the map control he has now with the slow. Lin kind of forced to stay on the top side of Last Refuge. And Infi just sacrificing his footman HP. Totally understandable. They will be replaced anyway.
Oh,
Chain
double kill,
Lightning with
chain
the
lightning.
double kill. Yeah, he didn't want that to happen.
It's level 2 Chain Lightning, right?
Yes, it is.
Peasants moving over to the expansion. And going for the counter expo once again. This game, it should be much safer to go for this. AM much stronger, MK much stronger, and most importantly, Orc Heroes much weaker than on Northern.
We're still waiting for the second spell of the MK, but man, he got so much. He got the one null camp, he got both shops, and he gets the big Overseer here as well. Lin needs kind of both red spots.
MK looking for the perfect trap, both being very cautious about their mana usage. That's a good stomp though. Hits it nicely into the back. Chain Lightning follow up, but the clap also hits well. Speed scroll. Moving forward, only one sorceress has died so far. But the priest, of course, are pretty susceptible to this piercing damage that we have. Quite a bit on the orc side.
Berserker falls almost immediately. And where's Lin's damage? There's no Wyvern. He eats one caster. Here's the level 3 TC. That changes a lot, but the Headhunter, Infi is focusing them so quickly. He can't get any damage in. There's no mana anymore for a Chain Lightning. He's trying to attack the workers with the wolves once again. One grunt is about to die. The casters are being attacked by Infi, and there's more Stomp and hammers.
Could be a big one. But the casters again moved away at the right time. The perfect stomp is here right now.
Not going for it. Not going for it. Trying to get the heroes once again. Stormbolt once more. He's not greedy and not going for the AoE on the rest of this army, but guaranteed kills with the Stormbolt. Wow, if he gets this Kodo. He gets this Kodo. There's another Stormbolt. This is so big.
Gonna get a sorceress back as well, which is close to dying. However, AM is in trouble though. Needs to be careful about this stomp. Oh, the sorceress, wow. Instantly microed away. Actually survives. Ridiculous.
7
Raider coming in now. Where is this stomp? Are you serious?
I don't know what he's waiting
What's
for
he waiting
either.
for?
Here we go, but only gets 2 Sorks out. Oh, 1 priest, 2 priest, 1 sword.
Oh my god, this is so scrappy.
Archmage. Oh, the clap is really nice to slow down everything.
Infi
Infi
is
might
waiting
have
for
the
the
TP
Ensnare
out.
upgrade. Yeah, it's not ready yet.
Oh yeah, 1/3.
Raider.
1/3 only. Oh, Chain Lightning almost with a double kill. Can he follow this up? 60 mana at the moment. Raider is falling immediately, so bye-bye Ensnare. Oh, actually survives. No, creeps. Oh, they're very
How
nice
is this
today.
Raider alive?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Cass is falling in the back line. More mana for the Farseer. This could be a kill soon. Infi doesn't have a potion. Okay, now he has
my
a potion.
God.
Used it immediately. What a fight between them. Both want the semifinals so bad. This Raider now finally falling. One grunt about to die. 40 supply as the dust settles. Archmage gets away with 50. And both have their expo up, but Lin is not mining from it.
Dude, it felt like Lin had to TP out like a million years ago, but he keeps on fighting, keeps on trading, and it's somewhat okay of a trade, but it doesn't look like a very good one. TC in trouble. Oh, but the cloak dodges the Stormbolt! Alright, could you slow down a little bit, Lin, maybe? Okay, here has to be the TP now, finally. Holy moly. Wolves in the expansion.
Again.
There's a priest here, but only one dispel.
9,100 gold here. The crits are coming out. So 500 gold ahead is Infi. The bigger army has Infi. Heal Scroll, Invo Potion still. Level 4 Mountain King around the corner. Stomble gets a lot better. Archmage has mana for Water Elemental. So let's turn this around and harass the workers. Lin, are you ready? Needs more mercenaries. Will be at 47. Has one Stomp, one Heal Scroll. Mana is super low.
It's also low on Infi though, to be fair. Starts off with a free pickup on a priest. That's nice. Where are the Wind Riders, by the way? Why don't we have Wind Riders?
Not coming. More Shaman, more Raiders. I guess he doesn't need them when he has Headhunters with Kodo Aura and True Shot. But he could force a Griffin Avery, but Infi now going for a Blacksmith so he can react with Rifleman.
Kodo gets off a Devour. That's very good start. Speed scroll, moving forward, looking for the TP force perhaps, with the right clicks coming in. Is there in this? Doesn't look like there is! The Chain Lightning! Neo, he underestimated the damage!
I tell you, man, I keep on telling you, it is underrated, this Chain Lightning, especially on level 2. So Mountain King, can you get away? There must be a couple of more nets, and how is the Purge situation? He's running to the tavern. Thirsty as Remo on a Friday, getting his Archmage back.
He is back, but with no mana. And decent HP. Did he pop a heal scroll right away? Perhaps he did. Dude, Lin, it looked like he was against the ropes right there, but he sees the Archmage mispositioned for once and perfectly calculates in his head and knows he can get this kill. There is Invis now. That was also late, right? I guess he didn't have that before. Big mistake.
Wolves again doing damage at the expo. Multitasking constantly by Lin, forcing Infi to replace these units. Force more towers, as one arcane is not enough against the level 2 wolves. But oh, the peasant juggling now on point. We see 3 corpses though, so that's 220 gold. Lin is mining now. We're getting into the late game. We're getting ready for the big 70 supply pushes, and here come the Wyvern. Infi needs to react to this.
On 2 bases, there should be enough economy to go for the transition to Dragonhawks.
Wand of the Wind. Third disable.
Oh, that's so good. Then again, it can be dispelled. So if he appreciates, respects Infi's micro a ton, maybe he's gonna sell it. But no, he's gonna keep it. Like, the potential is so high. You pop speed scroll, you run in, and then you just cyclone up the MK. He can't clap. That has such a high value ceiling.
Another kill for Lin, getting closer to level 5 on the Farseer, level 3 Chain Lightning, or even Wolves. Like, the number of breakers, I think it's just 2, right? Oh, 3 now. Okay, we're getting there. Number of priests, also not too high. He has to dispel a lot.
Breakers should have good mana at all times, though, because there's no Spirit Link. So, going for Wolves is a little bit dangerous. Then again, for economy run by Harasses, Invis Wolves are insane.
Oh boy! Cloak of Flames on the Torrent Chieftain! 10 DPS per unit around him. Plus Lightning Shield and Stomp, you can't move away. This CC is a beast.
Catgust Pipe at the other red camp. That one is gonna be one for the shop. Massive lumber issues for Infi, by the way. He needs to remake Peasants. Realizes it now. Normally Infi doesn't even find himself in this position. And speaking of find himself in this position, he could be getting caught up here on the high ground. He's got the way smaller army. He does have the high ground, yes, but that doesn't mean everything, as Anakin knows.
We are 85 experience away from a level 5 TC, and you all know what that means. Remo is a broken record when it comes to the level 3 stomp.
5-second stun on a... No, yeah, 6-second cooldown, boys. But yeah, it has to TP out. This is just way too tough of a fight. There we saw he cycles up the MK, he runs past him towards the backline. But this is a scary-ass Orc army, man. This is 70 supply, brute force towards the expansion. There's 2 towers here, but of course they by themselves are nowhere near enough.
Oh my, the wolves, man, they are tearing these peasants apart once again. Infi has to engage. 10 supply leader. Here comes level 3 TC. He's trying to control it with the storm, but he can't nuke him really. Clap was good, but the stun is better. Chain lightning to follow it up. Boom, Archmage dies again. And the Mountain King has to carry this hard now. But Lin is with 1 lag in the semi-final. And here's the second lag to follow it up. 2-1. What a game on Last Refuge. Ho 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 ho!
That was so sick. And this is why I love Lin games. Like, we saw the full scope of Lin. Actually, how insane is this? The game where he was most ahead after the early game, he actually loses.
Yeah. It's true.
And especially the last game was so beautiful to see. He was decently far behind that game. That was a tough match. He had to work really hard and make perfect decisions all the way through, but he does, because it's Lin, because he's in good shape right now. Infi made 1 mistake that game, right? And it's hard to blame him for this. When we saw him moving towards the north, towards the Orc expansion, it looked like, oh boy, that's a scary push.
Yeah.
He might win the game right there. He probably thought so himself. But isn't that a mistake? Isn't that just a mistake? What if he just hangs back, just keeps on creeping, plays passively, and goes to 70, maybe 75 supply, breakers, a few Dragonhawks, and the fully fledged human army? That is the scariest thing to face for Orc. A big front line of breakers, a decent counter to Wind Riders in the form of Dragonhawks, and then suddenly this TC doesn't do that much anymore. So for once, uncharacteristically, I think Infi got a little bit overeager and took a risk that he shouldn't have taken.
Yeah. On map 1, Lin was a little off with his army composition, with his reactions. He fixed that really quickly in game 2, and game 3 was pretty much perfect. He built so many different units who all had their impact on the time he needed them. Okay, the ensnare was a little late. That was maybe the one thing that was off in this regard, but had hunters at the right time to pressure the casters and put damage on them, so the grunts can soak up more damage in the front. Then later he built the Wyvern when he saw, okay, there is no Griffin Aviary, he's not going for Rifleman. He leaves the air to me, and they had great damage. And then, of course, 5/5 heroes. He caught up with experience so fast, got the Chain Lightning level 3, got the Stomp level 3. And then, with Infi's army composition, as you rightly pointed out, if you don't have the necessary number of breakers and find yourself in a position where the TC can roam freely again, he's stomping you to death. And that's exactly what happened to the Archmage and to Infi, who's eliminated in the quarterfinal.
But this was a super fun game, man. This could have very well been the grand final. I would have loved to see this just continue going to a best of 7 or whatever. When these two meet, it's just always amazing games. Lin is the slightly better player today. And Infi, he showed us a new meta here, kind of, with the counter expansion. I think counter expansion is the way to go, but perhaps with a bit more of a slower pace, more passive game. Also something that I find pretty fascinating here. We talk about macro not so much in Warcraft 3 because compared to other games like StarCraft, it's pretty simple. Normally you produce from 2 buildings, and you produce from those 2 buildings in like a 20-second cycle. You know, you don't have to macro that much. But with what Lin was doing in that game, it's not just about remembering to make units. It's actually really taxing because every round of production, you have to consider what unit you make. And especially in that matchup, if you go for the wrong unit, just for 1 or 2, that can lose you the game.
Yeah.
And how fucking scary is that? You make 2 wrong units, and then the game is over.
Yeah,
that is perfect. The reason why, like, out of all orcs in the world, currently able to beat the top humans, it's probably 3 orcs. Mm-hmm. Everyone else is just not on the same level because it's so hard. Orc definitely has a tough time, in my opinion, in that matchup currently. But if they play it super well, sky's the limit.
Here we go. First quarterfinal is done. Lin is there. He will face an undead in the semifinals, either WFZ or 120. That match comes up last today. We go from the top of the bracket to the bottom of the bracket. Lawliot versus Colorful is our next game here at Back to Warcraft on Super Sunday. We go into a little break, and then China versus Korea continues with Lawliot and Colorful. Stay tuned, check out the links in the description, and find ways to support us or the Warcraft scene in general. Stay tuned.